And hello everybody, welcome back to Tousi TV. I am Dan, your host, and today, of course, we're going to be discussing the tragic incident that occurred at a Sheffield high school yesterday as a boy was fatally stabbed. Yes, a truly heartbreaking story. We are going to be going over it and providing the latest updates that have emerged from this morning. But as always, guys, do get in the live chat and let me know your thoughts on this, and I'll be taking some of your points and putting them on the screen a little bit later on. Also, do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and we'll bring you up to date with what has happened. So, as stated, ladies and gentlemen, these were the scenes yesterday at a Sheffield high school after a 15-year-old boy died after a stabbing at a school in South Yorkshire. The teenager was rushed to hospital with serious injuries but sadly died. Following this, a 14-year-old boy has been arrested after the stabbing took place at All Saints Catholic High School on Granville Road. So again, there's some of the pictures there. Of course, there was a police presence following this and afterwards. We've also got a police statement that I'm going to be bringing to you momentarily, and also revealing the identity of this individual. But yeah, a truly heartbreaking story, and actually something that did emerge following this was that this school was put into a lockdown due to a violent disorder incident that happened prior on the 29th of January. So again, it may have been coming with this, but there's definitely a topic of discussion to have on the current stabbing epidemic that we have in this country. There was a memorial, of course, that did take place, and we're going to be going through some of the tributes a little bit later on, of course, in Keir Starmer's statement as well. But let me just bring you a police statement from this incident and the video of the police officer talking about it.
We know that what has happened will cause significant distress and concern. I would like to reassure you that our officers will remain on scene and in the local area to offer reassurance to parents, staff and local residents as our investigation continues. Although we are in the early stages of our inquiries, we are working at pace to build a full picture of how this tragedy has unfolded. We urge you to be mindful that there are loved ones at the centre of this, and they are grieving the profound loss of a teenage boy in the most devastating of circumstances. We would therefore ask you to avoid speculation and the sharing of online content which could be distressing to them and detrimental to our investigation. We urge anyone with any information that they believe can assist us to get in touch. Thank you. And I will take a small number of questions.
Have South Yorkshire Police had any prior contact with the teenager arrested in terms of knife crime?
As I'm sure you'll appreciate, it's very early stages of our investigation, so while that is something that the investigation team will absolutely follow up, I'm unable to comment on that at this time.
There were reports recently that this school was in lockdown. Is this for the same reason?
Again, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, it's very early stages of the police investigation. That is something that the investigation team will consider, but right now we're focusing on the here and now, and we will review that as the investigation progresses. Thank you.
So the police, of course, asking not to speculate at this moment in time. There has been some rumours floating around on X that we cannot confirm or deny at the time of recording here on Tousi TV. But there has been an update this morning, of course, and the victim has been named as Harvey Woolgoose. And again, there has been floral tributes and messages have been left outside the All Saints Catholic High School where the boy was named. Again, it's a truly shocking story, and actually I'm reading some of the tributes that have been placed there, of course, for him. His sister, of course, has been left heartbroken following this, and did provide a bit of an update and said, "My heart is broken into a million pieces. I love you so much, Harvey. Hug your loved ones a little tighter tonight because I wish I could." Now, this is disgusting. It's very, very bad, and again, it sums up the current knife crime problem that we have in this country. We see it on the streets, but a school should be somewhere where children should feel safe, and this incident should not be happening at all in the United Kingdom, but let alone in a school. Far too young, and how many more young people do we need to see get killed due to stabbings in this country before change happens? Now, Keir Starmer, of course, did put out a statement following this yesterday, which I'll read to you now. He said, it's horrific and senseless news that a boy has died after a stabbing in Sheffield. I am deeply grateful to the first responders, the police officers, and the medical staff who are offering support and reassurance. My heart goes out to the family and loved ones of the boy, the staff and the students at the school, and the entire community of Sheffield. They are grieving the needless loss of a young life, and the nation mourns with them. Our schools should be places of safety and learning, not violence and fear. My government is absolutely committed to tackling knife crime so young people are safe and our streets and in our schools. Tonight, a young boy should be returning to the love and safety of his family. We stand and work together against the devastating consequences of knife crime so no more families know this tragic loss. Now, again, it just feels like Groundhog Day. It's certainly something that just constantly keeps on coming up in this country. And when is enough enough? When is just my thoughts and prayers go out to the family and the victim? When is it actually going to see action take place within this country and stopping this horrible epidemic that we're currently in? We've got a Labour government that constantly seems so focused on trying to tackle the sales of knives, whether that be Amazon and all these kind of things, rather than going to the root cause of these problems, and certainly some of it stemming from education. Now, again, there has been a lot of rumours floating around on X at this moment in time, and again, I'm not going to bring you them here right now, because we cannot confirm or deny these. So do take speculation with a pinch of salt on what you see on social media. But as time does go on, there'll be a time and a place to discuss and see if there is any truth in those rumors. But we'll have to see as time goes on, and the police investigate this situation, and the information will be revealed to the public in due course. But yeah, truly heartbreaking. It really is. And I don't know how many of these incidents I need to cover. It just feels like a daily basis where we're talking about some sort of an attack that has happened within the United Kingdom involving knives and stabbing. And this one's just even sadder because it's a young individual at a school where he should be safe, and the victims are becoming younger and the perpetrators are becoming younger as well. But something truly does need to happen, and happen now. Action needs to be taken now, and hopefully we'll start to see something emerge. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the live chat. I'm going to be bringing up some comments in the live chat with regard to this, but of course, do get involved. Let's have a little look. Omanara says, it's pretty shocking this stuff doesn't happen around here, but the location was extra spooky. Again, I think all major cities within the United Kingdom have their fair share of things that happen and incidents that happen, but it just becomes super shocking, the fact that it's a school. You know, you hear about stabbings all of the time. You hear about teenagers being stabbed on the streets of London. And again, this just becomes very normal news within this country, which is sad. It shouldn't be the case. But certainly when it becomes a school, a place where parents feel that at that time they can drop their children off to a school, go to work and not have to worry, it certainly does make you question this thing, because this isn't the first time. I think the school, as I said, it was being reported that the school actually had a lockdown like a week prior due to sort of violent orders, and then people were being let out staggeredly, and then this incident happened on the first day of this kind of lockdown within the school. So an individual bringing a knife to school in the first place is absolutely disgusting. It genuinely is disgusting, and again, we need to try and tackle this at the root, the root cause. The whole knife crime in this country is absolutely shocking, genuinely. Let's go through some more. Heloquin says, how often have the rumours been false when something like this happens, especially when the government, besides the police, get involved immediately? I understand that. I genuinely understand that. But of course, as a media site, we have a we can't get involved in those kind of things. Obviously, investigations are currently ongoing, and I can't confirm nor deny it. So I'm not going to address those speculation, because we would then be responsible for messing around with an ongoing investigation. So we wouldn't be doing that, and there would be a time and a place to discuss that. But right now, we're just bringing you the information that is out there currently in the public domain, and then we can maybe discuss those things a little bit later on as the case sort of develops. Carol says, schools should protect their students. Security police must be deployed. Well, it's a sad, I mean, you can say that, but it's a sad state of affairs if we ever had to get to that level. This is not really something that happens in schools across this country. Now, it's been a while since I was at school, but when I was at school, there would be a saying that boys will be boys, in terms of, there's going to be tensions that rises naturally in all aspects of life. And at school, you fall out with people and you might just have a little scuffle on the playground or something like that. But that was that. That's all it was. A little scuffle, and that's it. No individuals bringing knives to the equation. No one's bringing anything to school. Now, this is becoming a murder scene, and we don't know the context of the full background of the actual incident. We don't know what the motive was. We don't know what actually happened. But an individual brought a knife to school, which is shocking in itself, first and foremost, but then also used that knife to go on and kill another student, which is truly, truly heartbreaking. Everyone in this country should be discussing this openly. Our laws need to change. This is starting to affect more people. Now, there is certainly ways to tackle this. And again, the Labour government tackling knife sales on Amazon and all of these kind of things is not the root cause. This is not the root cause. Selling knives, and I sound like a broken record, genuinely, because every time we do these incidents, we're always talking about the aftermath of this current stabbing epidemic. But addressing a problem and going to a store and trying to ban Amazon and blaming Amazon and these kind of the production of knives and people being able to buy the knives, the vendors of the knives, is not the problem. Because you go to your kitchen drawer, there's a knife there. Any individual within the United Kingdom can carry out an attack like this by just going into their kitchen. That's not the problem. It stems far deeper than this. Education is a big, big thing. Education is a big, big thing. Deterrence is a huge thing as well. Like, what do you actually happen? What actually happens to you? Again, I know it's illegal to carry around those offensive weapons and knives, but is it actually enforced? What actually happens to you if you walk around the street with a knife? What happens? Genuinely, what happens? I don't think anything that big happens to you in terms of a penalty or a charge if you carry around a knife in this country, despite them saying it's illegal. It's not enforced enough, and that also needs to be eradicated. And then there's other conversations to be had around other aspects of it, but certainly they need to tackle it at the root cause, and it isn't in the distribution of knives from vendors. This is not the case. Steve Clark makes a point saying this is because discipline is taken away from school. Now, I don't really know the bigger picture of school, and to be fair, obviously we've heard about this one. I think there was a girl as well stabbing. I think I seen something about another stabbing incident yesterday as well in a school or something like this. Again, I never really hearing too much violence that comes around at schools, but what I'm starting to see a lot happen within the United Kingdom is stabbings, and it feels like that the perpetrators are getting younger and the victims are also getting very younger as well. We're just starting to see it. I think there was an incident in Birmingham with a 12-year-old boy that was stabbed. So everyone, the victims are getting younger and the perpetrators are getting younger, which poses and shows a real problem. There's always has been, some sort of stabbing stabbing, whether those be gang related or things that happen within this country. But the shocking statistics that's happening right now is that people are getting a lot younger in terms of the victims, and of course the perpetrators are getting a lot younger as well, which is equally disgusting. We've got a super chat coming in, so thank you so much for the super chat. Vic donates $5 and says, from the USA, it's frustrating at the amount of these horrific acts I am seeing daily in the EU. Wishing you all strength to overcome these issues. Again, I echo that. I hope this country can do something about it, and that it's enough time for these thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Whilst yes, that's important, having empathy to families, but also actually taking action and saying, no, this is the last time, and putting a fork in the road and saying this is not going to happen, and actually make steps to make change in this country, which again I just feel will not see a change. When is enough enough? That's the question I raised to you. Bonnie says, I agree. Lack of discipline is a big issue. Kids are raging at the moment and have less and less respect towards their parents and teachers. Adults shall start stepping in hard and demand discipline. Now, I can't really talk about this because I'm 28 years old. I don't hang around. I don't really have, all my cousins and stuff have all grown up, and everyone kind of around me is all adults. I don't have any family with children or anything like that. So I'm not around children whatsoever. So I don't really know the full scale on that statement and stating that kids are raging in that. I don't spend enough time with children to really understand or really understand if there is a problem with today's children. But certainly when I was a kid as well, I feel like it's always a generational thing. People will go, well, the kids are not like how we used to be when we were younger, and all of these kind of things. And now people my age are saying the same thing as people would say when we were younger. But again, either way, regardless, it's absolutely shocking. And I think it's a greater epidemic in this country with regards to stabbing that needs to be confronted. It should not be normalized. This shouldn't be a thing. This should be news. Like, if a stabbing happens in our country, that should be front page news. That should be shocking. Absolutely shocking. I'm sure countries like Switzerland, if those incidents occurred, it would be shocking for a whole country, not just a place, if they've seen an incident happen like this. But people are getting numb to just seeing these stories, because you could type into Google London stabbing and you'll get article after article over the last month of incidents that have occurred that haven't really scratched the surface in terms of breaking onto mainstream media news. This, of course, has taken the front page because of just how truly shocking it is in general, how young the victim was at a school where it should be a safe space, and then, of course, the perpetrator being 14 years old. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Be True says, can't face this softly. But will there be change? Will there be change? Will Keir Starmer's statement there that he's saying we're committed to tackling knife crime in this country? Is he? Is he really? Where is it? Other than going after Amazon and going after the vendors of knives, what is the plan? Can we see the plan of how they're actually going to tackle it head on? Really, because there is case studies of other countries in this world that will show you and prove to you that this is not a daily occurrence like it is in our country. There is proof and case studies that this can be. And if we have to go there and find help and see and how to do it and tackle it, get the right people in to tackle it head on and start taking action today, then so be it. That's what needs to happen. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, on Tousi TV. There is a lot more to come from Mayor today. There's a really exciting interview coming up as well. So, guys, make sure you do have the notification bell. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do as well. We're pushing towards 1 million. I think that's the big goal, of course, for 2025. But hit the like button. I have been Dan. This has been Tousi TV, and we are the media.